everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and I like to read and talk about comic books. So today I'm going to talk about the top 5 comic books I read over the last 2 weeks, which were the weeks of January 28th, 2015 and February the 4th. Let's get started. Number 5 on the list is Nova, number 26. Sam's taken some time off from Nova due to the head injuries he suffered with his fight from the inverted Hulk during Access, and Sam's enjoying himself. Unfortunately, all that ends when Carnage decides to make a visit to Sam's hometown, and unfortunately, Carnage also knows Nova's secret identity because he accidentally told him his name was Sam Alexander during Access back when Carnage was a good guy. So not working out well for Sam. Okay, this was a good issue because the writer Jerry Dugan is able to provide some humorous moments in this issue, such as when Nova is trying to trick Carnage, first claiming that he gave him a fake name, and then acting like he's talking to Captain America, and acting like the Avengers are surrounding them and stuff. So there is some humor in the book, which is a good thing. And also, he makes Sam a very strong character too, because Sam just got a clean bill of health in this issue. His doctor said, "Okay, you're all good. You don't have to worry about any long-term damages to your head injury." And also, his helmet's still damaged. Like, you can sort of look at it on the cover, but his helmet's still dented due to the fight with the Hulk. And despite all of that, Sam still goes after one of the most deadliest supervillains in the Marvel Universe, which I think is very amazing. But really, the story does feel sort of an aftermath or an epilogue to the Nova Axis tie-in. So you can expect some Axis stuff to be referenced in this story arc. But overall, very good issue, and that's why it's my number 5 pick. Okay, number 4, and this book finally came out. Hawkeye, number 21. This is the beginning of the end, as Clint Barton, his brother Barney, and the other tenants of the building prepare for the final battle to defend the building from being taken over by the tracksuit Draculas, as Clint calls them, the tracksuit mafia guys. Unfortunately, and this book has a lot of action in it. It's basically Clint Barton. All the other tenants are, even though Clint is doing most of the fighting, the other tenants are able to pitch in, help when they can to help defend the building and stuff. And it's just a very great moment, especially seeing how much Hawkeye endures during this issue. I mean, he's still recovering from the last run he had with the guys. His hearing's still recovering. His brother Barney too. He's still in the wheelchair, but he's able to help Clint out. And it's a very good issue. And the series is going to end soon. This is the second to last issue. I believe the next issue will come out in 2 weeks. 2 weeks at the end of February. Then there's going to be a new Hawkeye title written by Jeff Lemire. But this issue definitely does an amazing job acting as what I said earlier, the beginning of the end. You can tell that that after this, everything is going to change for Hawkeye. He's probably going to be take his life in a new direction, which will lead to the new series. But overall, Matt Fraction and David Aja, I hope I'm saying that name right, have given us a really enjoyable Hawkeye series in general. It has been a very, very wild ride, and I cannot wait to see how they're going to end it. So, and that's really why Hawkeye is number 4 on my list. That and the reason why it's still kind of still at number 4 and not higher is because it was delayed for so long. My number 3 pick is AntMan, number 2. Scott Lang is starting a new life in Miami, so he decides to continue his superhero career, but use it as an actual job. So he decides to go to a bank to apply for a bank loan to start up his own security firm, because he figures he's the next thief. He's got AntMan equipment. He can run his own security firm and help people out. But however, when he goes to the bank to get a loan, things do not go as planned, and I'm going to leave it at that. This book's writer, Nick Spencer, does an amazing job reinforcing the type of character Scott is. And Scott's main motivation for all his actions in the story is to be a better man for his daughter. And that includes not just being a superhero. He also wants to provide a steady life, hence why he's trying to start his own business. He also wants to be a better man in every aspect, even when someone might not know it, he'll know it. For instance, when he's at the bank and he is tempted to steal some of the money. Like, he's tempted to just shrink down, and instead of going for the loan, he just wants to take some of it and he could just leave and no one will ever know, but he'll know, and he doesn't want to do that. Also, Nick Spencer does have has a lot of humorous moments in this issue. I think that's something that people loved about the last series he wrote, Superior Foes of Spider-Man. So I think people who are disappointed that that series got canceled can pick up this one and really can enjoy that just as much. Also, one of my favorite funny moments is when Scott sets up a billboard for his new business, and it has a picture of Iron Man saying, "I'd hire him," in a reference to how Scott got the job for Tony Stark's security team, head of security, in the first issue. And then we cut to where Iron Man sees it and he just says, "Sue," and that's all you see of the real Iron Man. So yeah, there are funny moments like that in this issue, which I think is great. I do like it when superhero comics aren't serious all the time. It's good that there are some that where humor is an element in the story. I think that's really enjoyable. And also, I think this AntMan series definitely could not come at a better time since the movie's coming out. I mean, obviously Marvel thought, hey, we have to do something to help promote AntMan, so give Scott Lang his own ongoing. I think that's a good idea, and right now, this is probably one of my favorite Marvel books. So if you can only get one Marvel book this week, I would definitely recommend picking up Ant-Man. My number 2 pick is Batman, number 38, Endgame, Part 4. Batman's running out of time as Joker's virus is continuing to spread across Gotham. Everyone's going crazy, and Batman needs answers. So he goes to some unlikely sources in this issue, and the last page is definitely a surprise about who Batman ends up coming to in the end. Also, the story feels like unlike any other Batman story I've ever read. Like, it's definitely something that I think fans are going to talk about for a while. I'm trying to be vague as possible so I don't spoil anything. But one thing that is definitely different in this issue is that apparently they're teasing a new origin for the Joker. That apparently a possibility that Joker has been in Gotham for a while. At first, it was teased throughout the entire story arc of these old photos where it looks like Joker is in them, and everyone thinks that he somehow doctored or altered the photos. But now they're saying that apparently Joker could be this entity or something that has existed in Gotham to cause chaos, called the Pale Man or something. Well, if you ask me, though, I don't think that's something that's going to stick. I mean, it's the Joker. Almost everything the Joker says is a lie. This could just be his final joke in a way. After all, that's what he's trying to do in this story arc. He's trying to basically end things with Batman for good. Like, really for good. And also Joker's actions are creating an element of horror, which I think greatly helps this story a lot. I mean, at times it feels very suspenseful, and a couple of times I kind of thought to myself, can Batman win? And of course I remembered, he's Batman, he's awesome, of course he's gonna win. But as you're reading this, Batman does kind of realize that he starts to think to himself that this is unlike anything I've encountered before. I'm in uncharted waters, and he's really worried. So that's what's real. So that's definitely a bad sign that Batman is worried. So yeah, overall though, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo are doing an amazing job continue to do an amazing job on Batman. I think this is one of the best stories they've written on this title. I definitely think that it's something that any Batman fan should definitely check out. If you're not reading the story arc now, I would say, usually at this point I say go wait for the trade, but do not wait for the trade. Go get the last couple of issues, start from the beginning, and read this story arc. It is awesome. You will not regret it. Alright, my number one comic for this video is Superman number 38. After everyone returns to Earth, Superman fights and is able to defeat Ulysses thanks to his new superpower, the Super Flare. And basically, DC the explanation behind the super flare was leaked the day before the issue came out. Basically, what it is Superman releases all the solar energy in his body, and when he releases it, it creates what Batman described as a quarter-mile explosion. And thankfully, that's how he's able to defeat Ulysses. All that energy is able to pretty much overload Ulysses' energy absorption powers. And also, another couple consequences to this power, using this power, is that Superman's armor is destroyed now. Well, except for his cape. His cape is able to survive because it's Kryptonian fabric. Even though I thought the armor was supposed to be Kryptonian armor. So, anyways, his armor's destroyed, and Clark is completely out of energy, so he needs 24 hours to recharge. So basically, he's powerless for one day. And at the end of this issue, Superman reveals his identity to someone, and I'm not going to say who because you really need to read this issue to see who it is. All right, Jeff Johns returned to Superman, and I love his writing. He's one of my favorite writers. He's one of my favorite writers at DC and comics in general, and he did an awesome job writing this story arc. I liked how I especially liked the scene where everyone returns to Earth and they're all bummed and angry and sad that they didn't get to go to the perfect world, and Superman reminds them all that there is no perfect world. If you want it, you have to build it yourself. You can't just expect someone else to take you there. And I thought that was a really great scene. And also, last night I found out that Jeff Johns is going to be leaving after the next issue number 39. And I am very disappointed about that because I love this story arc. I mean, I thought he would have stayed on for the book at least for a year or something, but oh well. I mean, the guy is DC. I mean, I'm disappointed, but I know the guy is also DC's chief creative officer, and he's also worked on the Darkseid War for Justice League, which I'm really looking forward to. So, positives and negatives. Also, John Romita Jr.'s artwork, very beautiful, very stunning. I honestly think if John Romita Jr. made the right decision choosing Superman to make his debut for DC Comics. I mean, also not just the way he draws Superman, but the way he draws Batman. It's actually pretty good. I would buy a Batman book if John Romita Jr. drew it. So that's saying something. Also the new costume for Superman, which again JRJ drew. It looks very nice. It does look. It's not completely different. It's still the blue suit, red boots, red belt, cape, but it is a little it is different in a way. There's some sort of fingerless gloves that Superman's wearing now, and also the boots look less like armor and more like the classic Superman boots, which is very nice. I don't know if it is out of armor because the way Romita drew it, it doesn't really look like armor. It looks like fabric in a way. So I have no idea what the specifications of the new costume are, but hope it looks. But I can't wait to see. See if we're gonna get more detail about it. Also the scene where he drew the Superman using the super flare was another brilliant design by Romita. Love it. So overall, with John Romita Jr.'s artwork, Jeff Johns writing, this is definitely a 5-star book in my opinion. I'm sad that Jeff Johns is leaving, but I'm glad that John Romita Jr. is staying on as the artist. So kind of a win-loss. So kind of a good news, bad news thing. And also, there have been a lot of good Supermans. I think Superman is really starting to come back in terms of comics now, because there are a lot of good. This isn't just the only good Superman story I've read from DC. There's also Superman Unchained, Greg Pak's run on Action Comics, which I read the first trade for. It's amazing, and also I think his other issues of Action are getting positive feedback as well. And also Greg Pak's story arc in Batman Superman right now, where Superman's dealing with his own Joker. So, overall, I think Superman's really starting to come back for DC Comics, which is great, which is really amazing because Superman is my favorite character. So, I'm really happy about that, and overall, that is why Superman number 38 is definitely my number one comic. And if you only have to get one comic this week, I highly recommend it, Superman. And that's it for my comic review. What do you guys think of this new format? Like I said, I am now stuck in a situation where I am going to be making videos sort of on a bi-weekly schedule, like every 2 weeks now. So if you like what I'm doing, let me know in the comments below what you think about this format. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you guys think about the comics I reviewed? Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with it? What were your favorite comics for the past 2 weeks? Let me know in the comments below. Seriously, I want to know what you guys think. You're my subscribers. You're watching these videos for a reason. If you think something's wrong, please let me know, because please let me know, okay? So, again, thanks again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.